Hi everybody, I'm going to do some more cooking today. So of course, those of you who know me, I'm Dr. Leif Rogers. I'm a plastic surgeon. I'm not a chef. However, I enjoy cooking, and so we decided to do some, I wouldn't call it a cooking series, but we're definitely doing occasional recipes here and there, mostly for my entertainment, and hopefully yours too. So today we're going to do pot stickers or gyoza. It's going to be the Chinese version since I'm half Chinese. This is the kind of stuff that I grew up on. My grandmother used to make this every so often. I used to help, so hopefully some of my skills are still there. We're also going to make some wonton at the same time. Very similar type of thing. It all depends what you put in it. We're going to do a traditional ground pork and cabbage with the other seasonings to make it taste Asian. And I think we're going to do very much the same thing for the wonton or windwin. The difference is wonton have a thinner skin typically, and they're boiled. The pot stickers or gyoza, you can either boil these or you can pan fry them. Usually what you end up doing is you cook them first, boil them or steam them, and then you fry them in order to give them that sort of crisp bottom to them. And they're a little different. The wrappers are different, round versus square. So I'm going to get started just by prepping and chopping up some veggies. So I'm going to cut up some Napa cabbage. This calls for 6 cups because I'm doing 1.5 the actual recipe. So the recipes I use are a combination of stuff I find online, stuff that I vaguely remember from my childhood, and stuff I make up as I go. So I'm sure this won't be exactly like anything you find online. So ginger. Ginger is one of those very strong flavors, which you can either put a lot or a little. It really depends on your taste. I happen to like ginger, so I'll probably use a little bit more than most recipes are going to tell you to use. So we have our ginger, scallion, our cabbage. Now we need some garlic. I'm just going to put that in with the ginger. I know most of the cooking shows, they want everything separated so you can see what everything is, but I'm not a cooking show. I'm just showing you how I cook. And then we're gonna add some other stuff like the sesame oil, a little bit of cooking wine, and a little soy sauce or salt and white pepper. So white pepper is another one of those things. You can use black pepper in Asian cooking, but most Asian cooking calls for white pepper. It actually has a significantly different flavor. Sesame oil, again, this is one of those things to taste, and salt. So what I would also do is just let this sit a little bit. The cabbage actually will wilt a little bit, which makes it easier to use as a stuffing. So now we're going to start wrapping these. So again, we're doing 2 different kinds. We're doing gyoza, or in Mandarin we usually just call them Gyoza, and we're doing wonton or windwin. So those are just the pronunciation that I grew up with. So a little water on the edge. That's one. So you got to do that about 100 times. It's kind of like, it's equivalent to like making ravioli by hand. So I just remember doing this with my grandmother. I mean, literally this was like a half-day project because you're all sitting around doing this because, I mean, just look how long it takes. I mean, one set of hands takes a while. I was the taste tester. So my grandmother would always salt everything and say, okay, is that enough salt? And I was the one who would tell everybody, yes, that's perfect. And usually I was pretty good. I actually have a memory of one time over salting and everyone complained, but other than that, I did pretty well. So that's more like it. That's how it should be, like that. Not quite so. This one next to it is too fat. That's actually more the way it should be. This one will probably fall apart. So we're gonna boil that water. We'll do our first batch of the wonton and the gyoza or gyoza. And then some of them we will pan fry afterwards to get that crispy bottom layer. And some we'll actually put in the deep fryer. It's actually good to let them dry out a little bit so they don't fall apart. It makes your little seal better. And typically once they start to float is when you know that they're done. So these are done. You can tell they're all floating, they're all sitting around on top, so they're definitely done. This is a nice way to get them out because it's gentle. Because they're relatively fragile when you first take them out, because if you try to take them out with like chopsticks or something like that, they'll have a tendency to break on you. Once these cool off a little bit and firm up, you can fry the backs of them. That's probably the easiest way to do it, but I know that there's a lot of instructional videos where you can cook them raw in a pan. So that way works too. So you basically just brown them first and then you put a little water at the end and cover them and steam the rest of it. But you can just, if they're already cooked this way, you can just recook them. That's how my grandmother used to do it. Those are big wontons. You can obviously make them small if you want to. If If you're gonna put them in soup, you may wanna make them smaller just so they're not giant. Very good. So I like to use avocado oil. It's healthy. Peanut oil is traditional because it has a high flash point and it definitely has a nice flavor to it, but it's not as healthy. So avocado oil is actually quite healthy. It's good for you, and it has a high flash point, which means it won't catch on fire or smoke. So now we're going to try doing the whole fried gyoza thing. So these are uncooked. I'm going to put those on and let them cook a little bit. Then we're going to add a little bit of water at the very end just to cover it to steam it. So now I'm going to just pour a little bit of water on the whole thing. Cover it. That should steam it for the rest of it. I'm looking for my actual lid, which I cannot find, so we're using that thing. Pretty good. I think there's a little more. There's still a fair amount of water in there, so we'll cook a little bit more, steam a little more. It's gonna taste really good. Oil. Well, that looks good. So we got two to try here. We got deep fried and we got the pan fried. Let's try the pan fried first since we finished those first. Brown on the bottom, maybe a little dark, but I think they're gonna taste good. Let's see. Very nice. I like them because they're not overly fried and crispy everywhere, which that's what these are. Let's try one of these. Oh god, they're hot. They're good. These are very crispy. These are very good. That's it for our dumplings. We did them 3 different ways. We boiled them, we pan fried them, and then we deep fried them. And they taste great pretty much however you want to make them. We made them different shapes. We did wonton or windowin style, and we did the gyoza / Gyoza style. And the same filling though. So honestly, they taste very similar, but they were all excellent. And you can change this any way you want. You can pretty much put anything you want into these things. You can put like cream cheese if you want. Not very Asian, but it certainly would be good. In any case, hope you guys have fun.